Now, from dawn to dusk, we are driven by time, by what feels like an external force relentlessly ticking off the seconds and minutes of our lives. But could even our sense of the march of time ultimately come from inside of us? Our ability to sense time passing is extraordinary.
Oh my God, look at you, got the jacket on, and everyone, oh, come on, put it up, come on, put it up, put it up. Immediately intimidating, that's amazing. I would be hiding my iPod earphones immediately.
It's so subtle that we usually don't even notice it, but we're constantly timing things. The wait at traffic lights, the boiling of the kettle, even the pause before a punchline.
Hello. You probably guessed from my accent, I'm a lesbian.
I say, what is the secret of good comedy?
I don't know. What is the secret?
Timing. We always say that we've got 3 chances, time a joke right.
Brian Luff runs classes in comic timing.
I think it's incredibly precise. I think you could probably measure it in nanoseconds. I mean, I know that sounds over-scientific, but I think the difference between getting a joke right and getting it wrong is minuscule.
Brian's approach is exacting.
Time versus funny. There's funny, there's time. Now, what we're looking for in, say, a 3-minute sketch is for the funny to escalate at exactly the right speed.
You can say the line too early, you can say it too late, but you've only got one chance to say it right. So the odds are stacked against you right from the word go when you're actually talking about placing a punchline in just the right place.
Aaron is new to stand-up comedy and is learning to get his comic timing right.
Got any agoraphobics here today? No? That's all right then. Went out with an agoraphobic once. Well, I say out.
Tonight, Aaron will be performing his repertoire of jokes for the very first time in front of a real audience.
I think Aaron's act tonight will stand or fall on his timing. I think a lot of his material is very timing based, and I think if Aaron is relaxed enough to actually just let time pass while he's on stage and not hammer through it, but let the audience relax, listen to what he's saying, then I think he'll do very well.
Please put your hands together and welcome all the way to the stage to Mr. Aaron Wright.
Good evening. Well, I remember saying to you once,
If Aaron's going to succeed, every pause, every beat will have to be just right.
I've been seeing this librarian girl for a couple of years now. You see, her mum was from Liverpool, so I had to be really careful about doing Scouse jokes. You know, in case she nicked them.
The audience are unaware that they are timing Aaron, but that is exactly what each of them is doing.
I went out with an agoraphobic once. Was it you? Well, I say out. Hey, that's enough for me. Thank you very much. Good night.
So Aaron set up that lovely agoraphobia joke that we saw him do in the workshop, and unfortunately someone in the audience said something and it just distracted him.
I went out with an agoraphobic once. Was it you? Well, I say out.
And that was enough to make the joke that we saw work really well in the afternoon just misfire on the night. And it's as simple as that. It's such a fine line.
It seems we all have a sense of time passing, and how much. Even in a completely empty environment, in the absence of any information, we still have this ability. It's like a sixth sense. So there's something going on inside of us, something in our mind that allows us to judge the amount of time passing. And scientists have asked the question, how do we do this? At Duke University in North Carolina, scientists have made an astonishing discovery.
Welcome.
I'm going to take part in an experiment to reveal just how we sense time passing. It's all down to something Warren Meck calls the stopwatch.
So you believe that there's a stopwatch in my brain that's sort of ticking away, right? I mean, how can that be?
Well, the idea is that there's a brain circuit in there that's very selective for keeping track of time. And that when we put you in the scanner, we can actually see that circuit at work.
It's going to light up in some sense? Your machine's going to be able to look right in and see certain centers of the brain lighting up?
Well, if we can get you to focus on just the duration of the events in there, that'll put a spotlight on this stopwatch. And so you're right, we're going to be able to activate it and just look right into the brain.
The hope is that Warren Meck and his team will be able to identify which area of the brain is active while I'm timing something.
Michio, can you hear me okay? And I have you respond to those duration stimuli as to whether they're shorter or longer. Are you ready?
It's incredible to think it's actually possible to detect my experience of time passing.
Anita just sent it over. Let's take a look.
Oh, look at that. Oh, wow, that's my brain.
Over here, we're looking for what parts of your brain were activated when you were trying to time the duration of those stimuli.
Warren, look at this. This is by far the brightest part of the timing part of the brain. What's happening there?
Well, this is the front part of your brain where the critical part of the stopwatch is.
It's astonishing. I'm looking at the very cells which sense time passing, seeing them in action.
So this is what's beating then, right? There's a stopwatch is right there.
Right.
Now, what's inside there that is actually beating? Is it a chemical reaction? Is it a nervous reaction? And what is it inside there that's clicking away?
Right. Well, there are thousands of brain cells inside of there that beat in a regulated fashion, and they serve as essentially the tick-tock of the stopwatch.
So even this sense of time passing is embedded within the neurochemistry of our brains. A cluster of cells near the base of our brain releases a chemical that acts as a start signal. This then triggers a group of neurons at the front of the brain to fire together, but each to a different beat. And it's this pattern of beats that signals how much time has elapsed. This process is happening constantly, without us even knowing it. We're continually timing the world around us.
So if Warren is right, it means that he's been able to isolate the circuits that allow us to judge the passing of time. The organ, so to speak, that allows us to measure the beat of time itself.
The discovery of the stopwatch might even explain a bizarre phenomenon. In life-threatening situations, people say that time slows down. So much that they could see every tiny detail. The question is, does time really slow down? Or is it just imagined? We're going to find out. Psychologist Dr. David Eagleman is about to conduct the first ever scientific experiment to explore whether time really does slow down in a near-death situation.
So in order to measure how fast people's brains are taking in information, we've built this device which we call the perceptual chronometer. And the idea is that numbers flash very rapidly on this LED screen. They flash so rapidly that a normal brain under normal circumstances can't see what's being flashed here. But if time were running in slow motion, then you should be able to distinguish the numbers.
Jesse Callis has volunteered to be our guinea pig.
Can you see that there are numbers flashing on the screen here?
Yes.
Okay, these are flashing at a slow rate. If I speed this up, at some
First,
point...
David has to make sure that Jesse can't read the numbers when time is running normally for him.
That it's very difficult to read what the numbers are.
Yes,
Maybe
very
impossible.
difficult.
Okay, and so are you able to read what's on the screen now?
Yes.
How about now?
Yes.
Okay. And here, can you read the number at all?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Let's just do this number here.
Yeah, great. Is that too tight?
No, go ahead.
There's no way to fake this test because if time is not running more slowly, they can't see the sequence.
Nervous.
It's a long way down. Long way down. Too scared.
Jesse is about to free fall from a height of 33 meters, 12 stories above the ground. The question is, will he be able to read the number on the way down?
It's great.
Jesse, did you see any numbers on the display?
Yeah, 56.
56, all right, let's verify this. Okay, the number that was actually presented was a 5 and a 0, 50. The 0 happens to look a lot like a 6. So what this means is that, at least mostly, he was able to see a presentation rate that he was not able to see under normal circumstances. Maybe what we can do is try again and see if you get both the numbers right this time.
Again?
Again.
Okay.
Hey, ladies, watch your head on the side facing you.
I find this result fascinating. I would have loved it if he saw both numbers exactly correctly, but this at least suggests to me that he's able to take in information faster than he was before.
'96.
96? True?
That's what I saw.
The answer is 98. Hey, that's great.
So for a second time, Jesse has seen a number very similar to the one on the screen.
These results today are very encouraging because this is the first evidence that somebody's brain can speed up and they can see the world more slowly during a high adrenaline situation.
This is the first demonstration that time really can slow down. But how? Back at Duke University, Warren Meck is exploring this remarkable phenomenon by giving mind-altering drugs to rats.
We're particularly interested in drugs like cocaine and marijuana because we believe they can distort time perception by compressing time or lengthening time. Hi, Ray. Is everything ready?
Hi, Ron. Yes, everything's ready.
Good, let's go.
He's going to test whether these chemicals change the stopwatch mechanism that allows the rats to measure time.
So the rats have had their drugs for about 20 minutes now. As you can see, the marijuana rat is mellowed out. The cocaine rat's gotten quite mad and is trying to escape out of this cage here. And the saline rat is just acting normally.
The plan is to give the animals a timing task. The rats have previously been trained to measure time precisely. If the rat presses a lever after 12 seconds, he gets the reward of a food pellet. But if he's too early or too late, he gets nothing. The rat, given saline only, does this task perfectly and presses the lever after 12 seconds, the correct time. Next, the rat on cocaine. For this rat, time seems to zip by. It presses the lever after only 8 seconds. And lastly, the rat on marijuana. Here, time seems to have ground to a halt. This rat doesn't press until 16 seconds have passed.
So overall, we're seeing a modulation of the stopwatch where we can speed up the stopwatch and slow down the stopwatch, or we can maintain normal speed under control conditions.
So it seems that our very real experience of time speeding up or slowing down can be directly influenced by chemicals. And this could account for what's happening in the free fall. Under high stress, we release adrenaline, and this, just like a drug, affects the chemical pathway of our stopwatch, slowing down time. It seems that even our sense of time passing, something that seems so much a part of the outside world, is an internal process, a fundamental part of our psychology. But not all our sense of time can come from within. As a physicist, I know that the external world dictates the way time flows.
Thank you. I'd like a black coffee. Black coffee, please.
And that surely has to have an impact on the way we experience it.
In some sense, we are prisoners of time. You can't escape it. You can't jump out of time. You can't stop time. And so then the question is, what is it?
One thing we know is that time always marches forward. It never falters or freezes. These rules seem obvious, but in fact, it isn't immediately clear how or why they come about.
Well, when I was learning physics for the first time, I had the shock of my life when I suddenly realized that the laws of physics do allow you to go backwards in time. There's nothing in the laws of physics that says that time has to go forward. And so then the question is, why does time run forward and not backward? It is possible, technically speaking, that everything could be run in reverse.
The reason we don't see time reverse in real life isn't because it's impossible, only very, very improbable.
So we can't reform a broken cup, or for that matter, undo the memories of it breaking. It is so improbable that it's not going to happen in your lifetime, or for that matter, the lifetime of the universe.
There's a remarkable consequence to this. The past is always fixed in our memories, and the future is yet to come. And this creates our crucial human awareness of the arrow of time, of past, present, and future. This understanding has long been regarded as uniquely human. But recently, that's been thrown into question. Meet King, the gorilla. Here at Monkey Jungle in Miami, an experiment is underway to find out if King has any understanding of past, present, and future.
There is a notion that animals are stuck in the present and cannot think to the past or anticipate the future. The most recent research that we've been doing is investigating King's memory for specific events in the past. So we're trying to see what King can recall from his past experiences.
In one experiment, he witnesses an incident outside his cage.
Good morning. How are you doing? King's doing good. He's had a great morning. He's been out exercising outside. Looking him over. He looks really good today. Yes, it's very hot. My phone.
His keepers want to see if he can remember who was involved. A few hours later, he's shown a guerrilla version of an identity parade. King has already been trained on this task, but will he remember which of these people he saw?
King.
They have high hopes.
Can you tell me who took your phone? Oh my goodness, Heather took your phone.
King chooses Heather, the real culprit. It seems he has remembered what happened.
Thank you.
Until he suddenly seems to think that everybody was involved. The results are equivocal, but his researchers aren't put off.
In my opinion, I believe that great apes do have memory, and I believe that we will eventually be able to demonstrate this.
But even if they succeed, no one doubts that the most impressive performers of the animal world fall far short of our human awareness of time. The whole of human society is built around our ability to comprehend time as the past, present, and future. Everything we do, every action, requires that we understand what's just happened and anticipate what will happen next. This understanding is one of the greatest of our human abilities, and we use it continually.
I constantly think of the past and the future, but I know that I live in just one time, and that is the present. But the question is, how long does the present last? Perhaps no more than just a fraction of a second. and our mental understanding of the present. Perhaps it lasts just long enough for us to hold on to and join our thoughts.
But imagine that was all you had, just the sliver of time that is the present, without any memories of the past, nor expectations of the future. What would it mean to have no place in time? One man is consigned to live entirely within the present, with terrible consequences. Clive Wearing has the worst case of amnesia ever known. 20 years ago, he lost his memory, and now his wife, Deborah, is the only person he recognizes.
Clive really only has less than 30 seconds memory. And sometimes it's as little as perhaps 7 seconds. It's as little as a sentence.
I'm going to see your sister, Adele. Her daughter's got married recently
I see.
in New Zealand.
Ah.
And so they're having a party.
Funny how the ladies acquire a different title when they get married.
Do you know who I'm going to see tomorrow?
Buckingham Palace.
No, really guess.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Mm.
Adele.
Oh, I see.
Do you know why I'm going?
No.
She's having a party at her house tomorrow.
It's her birthday, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
It's to do with her daughter.
Oh, I see.
Do you know why her daughter's having a party?
No.
Guess.
No, I don't.
She's just got married.
Oh, I see.
She just got married in... Do you know what country she just got married in?
No, I don't.
In New Zealand.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The sentence he is in, he will probably have forgotten the sentence before. You ask him a question and he'll give you an answer, but while he's giving you the answer, he's already forgotten the question. That's how short it is.
I'm going to see your kids tomorrow.
You want to see my kids?
Yeah, your children.
What are they up to now?
Do you know what they're up to now?
No.
Guess what you think they're up to.
No idea, I couldn't guess. I don't know what their O-levels were. They hadn't got an O-level last time I was conscious. So I didn't know what possible thing they could do, did I?
No.
No, I couldn't possibly guess.
Where do you think they are?
No idea. I don't know where I am.
Yeah. Well, Anthony is the oldest. What do you think he's doing?
No idea. He hadn't got O-levels last time I was conscious, so I don't know what he's good at.
He's got a PhD now.
Oh, is he? Oh, good.
Imagine never recognizing your own children or your own home, not even knowing who you are, not being able to hold on to the past or present for long enough to imagine the future.
Do you recognise this place, Blue Anchor?
I prefer a white anchor.
Do you think you've been here before?
No.
Doesn't look familiar.
No.
Salmon, lamb, pork, chicken.
Chicken, I think, would be marvellous, yes.
Char-grilled stuffed chicken.
Yes, that would be marvellous.
That's what we were talking about, mozzarella and
yes, please.
mozzarella and basil.
Not only is Clive unable to remember what he's ordered for lunch, but he can't remember which flavors belong to which foods.
What have you ordered?
I don't know.
I think it's like chicken. What's it on?
It's salad.
Salad.
Yeah, cooked salad.
Cooked salad.
Since Clive is unaware of anything that's just happened, he perpetually thinks that he has just come round from a lengthy period of unconsciousness.
I've never seen anyone at all. I never heard a word until now. I've never had a dream, even day and night the same, blank. Precisely like death. No thoughts at all. Brain has been inactive and day and night exactly the same. No dreams even.
Every time he sees Deborah, he believes is the first time in years.
He's stranded, if you like, on this tiny scrap of time. He has no past that he knows about, and he has no specific idea of the future. All he has is void behind him.
It's been like death. I've never seen a human being before, never had a dream or a thought. The brain has been totally inactive, day and night the same. No thoughts at all. As far as I'm concerned, the doctors have been totally incompetent. I've never seen a doctor the whole time. Oh, look, it's come.
That's a very musical kiss. I'm dizzy. I don't know which part of the room I'm standing in.
Can we dance?
I think so.
Right.
Before his illness, Clive was a successful conductor and musicologist. And one of the few things that have survived is Clive's ability to play the piano.
It has been devastatingly sad to watch how frustrating it is for Clive, who is the man I love, to suffer so horribly. I do not know of a more horrific state to be in than to have no knowledge of the whole of your life, no knowledge of any events that have ever happened to you, and no idea of anything except now.
Clive's tragedy is to feel such intense human emotions without ever being able to anchor them into his memory. He's a man utterly lost in time.
Bravo, Tom. Very good.
Time is so much a part of us that we rarely question our experience of it. Yet it's knitted into the fabric of our being, and without it, our ability to live a normal life is destroyed. All this adds up to a uniquely human experience that has made me think about time in an entirely new way.
As a physicist, I've been trained to believe that time is mechanical, it's objective. Time beats at definite rates throughout the universe. But in the end, as a human being, I've come to realize that time is also intimate. Our perception of time can change. Time can speed up. Time can slow down. So in the end, time is very personal. It comes from within.
In my next slice of time, I'm going to be looking at our lifetime. How does it shape us as people? And could we ever be immortal?